Let's have some fun today. We're going to be making a wavy gatefold card. Now, I designed this based on something I had seen as I was searching through Google for other items. There was a wavy card that was there, but I thought I would design one that was just for us. And this is going to be a lot of fun. So let's take a look at our wavy card here. As you can see, it's got some curves, all kinds of different things going on here. And our supplies list, we're going for asset number 406 from the resource library. It's in the free Creative Crafters Club, but it's also in the hub where my members are, is in the hub. It's in that resource library as well. What we use on this one is 2 sheets of Easter colored paper. In my case, I used a shiny paper and a purple dot one, so it's Eastery colored. And then 1 sheet of white cardstock for printing some greetings if you want to glue and cut those in, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So what we want to do is go into Design Space now and upload our asset. And right inside Design Space here, you will see that I have a lot of different materials. The one we want is this one. It's called Wavy Gatefold, so make sure you download it and get it ready. I'm uploading the SVG file here. So let me just click on it. Let's add it to the canvas. And of course, first thing I want to do is just take the whole thing apart so that I can have different parts and pieces. Now, the pieces I've just outlined here, those are going to be glued onto the card on the outside. This will be my shiny paper, but we're going to make a duplicate of each one of these, but we're going to add an offset to them so that we can add a greeting. Now let's take a look at this top one. It has 2 score lines that we're interested in. If you take a look down below here, this is a group. This top one, you'll see it's highlighted the 2 here. It's made it red at the top. When I do my designs, I turn my score lines to red so it's easy for you to identify them. So I'll go from basic cut here. I'm going to change those to score lines. I'll just click away and you can see that it's changed to a score line. So let's just grab this at the top and let's attach them, because we don't want to have those come apart when we go to cut them. Now I'm just going to slide them off to the side here for a moment. Let's see if I can expand this just a little bit. Let's move those off to the side. Now we have the 3 pieces here that we're going to be cutting out of a different material. This is going to be still a medium cardstock, but a shiny material. But I also want to duplicate this whole thing, so I'm just going to hold down the Alt key. You'll see a little plus sign appear and drag a copy down. Now each one of these, all I want from them is a smaller version of the same thing. Now I didn't need to duplicate. I could probably have done it right here, so I'll just show you a couple of ways to do this. I'm just going to delete this one for now. I'm going to just grab this one. I'm coming to the offset. Now it's going larger on the offset, but I want it minus 0.25. And you see how it comes in the center? Okay, I am going to apply that. I'm going to do the same for the center one. I'm going to come up here to the offset. It's already preset from what I did, and click on apply. And the same thing here, offset and apply. Now I mentioned you could do it another way as well, and that would be to take the duplicate, make the offset, and delete the outside pieces. But I think we'll stick with this one. So the color here, I'm just going to change to white, because these are going to be the white pieces where the greetings are going to go. And they are cut pieces right now, so I'm just going to change them to white. And grab this one as well and change that one to white. Now these will be exactly as you see them, one coming one way and one coming in the other direction. Now this is going to fold over, so if I put the greeting here, it's going to be on the inside. If I flip these, I will be able to get my greeting on the side that I want. So I'm going to take this one and I am going to flip it horizontal, and I'm going to take this one and I am going to flip it horizontal. And that way these will be on the outside of the card for the greeting. So now we have to decide what we want to do for a greeting. If we make this a happy birthday card, then it may be something as simple as putting in some text and changing to something really nice. Now you can use all the Cricut ones that you want, and I'm just going to pick something pretty simple because we're going to draw it. I'm just going to pick Juicy for now, and I'll just click away from here. Now this is Juicy, so I'm going to change this to Happy, and then I'm going to pull another text box, and I'm just going to call that one Birthday. I like to keep my words separate, and the reason is that I can move things around the way I want them. Now that Happy Birthday looks pretty good. That will go into the center. Now we can decide what we want on these outside pieces at the same time. Now, just want to move those just a little bit. I'm going to select both these text while I'm thinking about it. I don't want them to cut inside here, but I could to have the shiny show through. But there are little parts and pieces, and it would create a big issue. So I'm going to make this a pen, and I'm going to pick the color. I'll just say raspberry for now. Now when I do pick the pen, I can choose the type of point that I want. And because this is fairly thick, I'm going to use some of my 1mm, and it's giving me different colors I can use, so it won't make any difference. I'm just going to use the 1mm. Now that's great. I got Happy and Birthday. Now what do we want on the outside edges? Maybe a couple of hearts or a balloon or something to that effect. I'm going to make this fairly easy. What we want to do is pick on something where we can just add a couple of little stars. Let's add some stars here, and I'm going to bring this star down here. Now in this case, I don't mind the stars being cut out. They are large enough. So I'm just going to hold down the Alt key, make 3 little stars here. They will be cut out of this piece of paper, but the first thing I want to do is just get those aligned to the center. So let's go line, and I don't want it center. Let's align it horizontally. So they're pretty well in the middle of that. Now I probably will space these up just a little bit and move them so they're not right above each other. That looks really good. Now these are going to be cut. I'm just going to grab these together and attach them. So I'll get some cutouts in the middle of this. I have this Happy Birthday piece. I'm going to attach it. Now this is the piece that is going to then be on the side. Now I can add a person's name here. I can put let's celebrate, let's give us a balloon, let's give us something else that we can cut out. Well, it's probably just as easy to just add some more stars for now, but you can make a change for what you want. I should have duplicated my stars up here a bit so I can get about the same size. And this is a little narrower, so I'm just going to drag these down, get 2 or 3 different stars on the go here. Great. I'm just going to pull these together, and once again I'm just going to attach them because those are going to cut out. Now I have my 3 greetings. I have my 3 pieces that are going to be a different color. They're going to be a shiny color, and then I have my card. So we are ready to save this and make our shiny Gatefold card. So let's click up here and go to save, and this is going to be Wavy Gatefold, and then I'm going to put hyphen birthday. Let's see if I've got a collection that will fit that. And I'm just going to go Cricut Valentine, Embellishments, Experiments, Features. This is February, so I'm just going to make it a February make and save it. But you could have different ones that you are going to do. I'm just going to click the check mark here. I'm going to click on Make It. Now I've got this is going to come out on the white. It's going to do the print here and the cut, so we're pretty well ready to go with that one. And then the other one over here, got everything jammed up close together. I'm just going to pull this down. Pull these down to the bottom. Now I've made these so that you could use 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So I'm just going to grab this here. This is going to be in a pattern paper at the top, and this is going to be in a shiny paper at the bottom. The one at the top, of course, is just a plain cardstock that we're going to use, and I'm just using a 65-pound bond cardstock for that one. So what we want to do now is then come over here and we're going to select our machine. In my case today, I am using my Maker 3. And we're going to be cutting the bottom one first. And I'm going to choose some medium cardstock. And of course it wants me to put in my scoring wheel into the clamp. And I will do that. And let's go over here and let's get our materials all ready together. Now I have my little case with all my different tools in it. I'll just open that. I'm going to, the blade, I just have to make sure I get the right one here. It's my cut. And that looks like my scoring tool, number 01. Yes, that's what it is. Give me a second here. I am going to load my scoring wheel. Now, what I need to do here is get my mat all prepped up. Now I have 2 sheets of paper here, and I only need to have them 6 inches. So I'm going to actually cut some of those. And I just have my little cutting board here. I don't want to get too much here. So I just need 6 inches of each of these. So I'm just going to bring this up to 6. Hold it into the center. So this is going to go on the bottom. And then I need 6 inches of the other material. Right here. And that will go at the top. So that's all I need to do with the cutting board. Just put that out of the way. Now how I had aligned them is the bottom here. I think I'll put the top one on first. Going to be my top piece. And I just want to make sure it is down really solid. And the reason I want it pretty solid is that I don't want things to rip and to move. Bottom one, the same thing. I want to get it down into the corner here. And making them 6 inches just made it a lot easier to line everything up. And once again, I want to make sure everything is in here and solid and smooth. And then while this is doing its thing over on my machine, I'm going to prep this one up. I don't need to do any cutting with this particular one, but I do need to choose a pen that's going to work for me. Now, I keep all my pens in a little case, so it's going to be a lot easier to choose one. We had chosen a 1mm. Now, I have these glitter pens that I have here, and we're using a purplish color, so I'm going to just pick on one of these, and this one is a 0.8. Now, let's see if I've got something else. I've got a 0.8 lovely glitter one. I might change to that one, so it doesn't really matter on the thickness. But I do have a series of other pens here. Here's a one that's in a purple color. So I've got a couple that I can use here. I'll make a decision in a moment, and I'll show you how I'm going to make that decision. Now we're only going to be using the top part of this. So I'm just going to take a look and see if I like this. Versus this. This one is the one. And I kind of like the glitter versus this one, so I think I'll stick with the glitter pen. I'll put that one back later, and that's what we'll do, load this one on a mat. Okay, so we're going to take our mat. My machine is asking for my fine point blade here. second mat. Here. Remember, I like to squish these down, and to me this is the more important part. It doesn't have to be a Cricut braying tool, but I prefer to use Cricut products. They seem to work best. And when that finishes cutting, we're going to put this in with the pen and the knife blade. Take my 2 extra pieces here and just put them off to the side. So as an end result, we'll end up with a card like this, but we'll also have a greeting cut out on the outside part, and we'll have a greeting on the inside. So let me just unload this mat, and we're going to load up our other one. Get the pen ready. And it's going to be medium cardstock again, pen and the blade. And then we'll take this part apart. Got these 3 pieces on the go. The outside edges, and I can toss those away. Roll my card off. Much easier. I don't get a curve that way. I will put my protective sheet on my mat. Mat away. We have our lines here, and I'm just going to use my braiding tool here just to get the lines to go. You can see how beautifully that lines up. Isn't that great? Alright, so we can get into doing some of the gluing while we're waiting for the other pieces. So we're going to glue this part on the inside, and of course I'm going to use this Barely Art glue. Just take the protective cover off, pick the blade I want, which is a little small one. I guess you get a little extra glue hanging across the top here. And we don't need a lot of glue. I just put little bits on the outside edges. As you can see, I just get these little bars. This is going to be pretty firm. I find that this glue has become my new favorite because it doesn't buckle any of the material I use. Now, the biggest challenge here is to get this centered the way you want it before you push it down. That's pretty good. Okay, now we've got this one firmly in place. We are ready to go with that one. Now we just need to add the 2 pieces to the outside here. And as you can see, we've got these 2 are going to fit. Whoop. This one fits right here. And this one is going to fit right here. Already I've got it upside down, so we're going to glue those 2 pieces into place in a minute, and I'm just going to eject my other mat. Let's put that aside. We'll get this glued first, and then we'll deal with the other pieces. So let's just grab some little pieces along the curves. Okay, let's grab this first one. Make sure I got going the right way. Pretty straight. Oop, I moved it. Of course I moved it. really nice on that side. Okay, so let's grab our other pieces. And we'll turn this over onto this side. Try to match them up as much as possible. Looks pretty close. Now we have the first part of the card as we did in our sample. I'm now going to add some other pieces to it. So I'm just going to get rid of this extra piece of cards. I guess I am wasting paper here today. Get rid of those extra pieces. Roll these off the mat. I am going to keep the little stars. I'm going to use them on another project. Like the birthday. Great. And I want to grab the other side. Perfect. And I have 3 more stars I'm going to keep here. Sticking really well today. There we go. Now let me put the protective cover on my mat. Move it out of the way. And now we have some other pieces that we want to put on here. If I'd put words on here, the flipping would have made. Now, I'm taking a look at my words here, and I see that there are some spots that didn't come through the way they should. So I'm just going to spend a little time and just fill some things in. Could have used a thicker pen, but I think this looks kind of cute. You can, fill in as you need. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. You are just making a card here for someone very special, so you can decorate it the way you want. Just add some text here. Go. My computer's making some noises today, so this is live. I'm sorry if I'm not looking at your comments right now. Now I'm not going to fill in the happy part because it'll probably take a little bit too much time, but I am going to glue it into position. And once again, it's just a little bit of glue across the top, across the sides. You don't need a lot. Just grab this. Just add it right through here. It might have been cute if I'd cut that out. Now that looks really super. Now, just going to push that down. We're going to add our stars on the outside. And let's see, which way does that go? That way. Got it upside down entirely. That's too funny. I gotta go with that's on the outside, so that goes that way. There we go. So make sure I get them right before I glue them into position. There we go. I love it with the stars showing right through. That is just a beautiful way to go. And I just want to make sure I get this one right before I turn it over to glue it. There's all kinds of different embellishments you can use with these. I just used something fairly simple with the stars. You could have balloons cut out. You could do all kinds of other things with it. Now let's line this up. Almost equal to the one on the other side. Perfect. All right. So the last thing we have to do here, of course, is just clean up everything. But here is our beautiful little card. As you can see, it's got cutouts. It's got the happy birthday on the inside, of which I'll finish coloring a little later. And that is our Wavy Gatefold card.